What's going on, Ginger Cornets? Throwback to when I made ranking videos. Yeah, those things that made people actually start watching my channel. A lot of you have asked why I stopped making them, and to be honest, I just got kinda bored. Also, Pokemon Journey started and I kinda wanted to talk about that. But today, I'm going back to the root, but with a twist. I'm gonna rank all of Ash Ketchum's rivals, but in a tier list. You know, those things that were everywhere like a year ago. But first, what exactly counts as a rival? Merriam-Webster says a rival is a large lobeal gland of vertebrates that secretes digestive enzymes. Whoops, got these things mixed up again. This is a pancreas. But we can't consider every trainer Ash has ever battled a rival, so I'm limiting it just to characters that competed in leagues and that Ash had a clear rivalry with. The rivalry can be friendly, or it can be not that, but it has to be there. Just because Lana competed in the Alola League doesn't make her a rival. But let's get into those rankings, and what better place to start than with Gary. Gary was Ash's first rival, from back before either of them were even trainers. And he was basically that douchey kid in the neighborhood who thought he was better than everyone else just because of his family name. This dude would just not give Ash a break, and he had a whole cheer squad to back him up, somehow. However, Ash and Gary slowly began to understand each other in Johto, and eventually became good friends, all leading up to that final battle. Okay, maybe not final, but the point still stands. A tier. We're starting off strong. Richie. Ah yes, the trainer who defeated Ash in the Indigo League. Definitely thanks to his strong battling skills. He made some appearances after that, and I get that he was supposed to be like another version of Ash, but he's still pretty forgettable, even with all those creative nicknames. Wait, apparently in the manga, he had a Charizard that he named Charlie. Huh. Yeah, C tier. Harrison. So here we have a trainer whose sole purpose was to get Ash to travel to Hoenn. His Blaziken beat Ash's Charlie purely for plot convenience. D tier. Morrison. I'm sorry, this kid was just annoying. I was never a Morrison guy. I'd put him in D tier, but he did go through some character development when battling Ash, plus he's a ginger, so C tier. Tyson. This character was similar to Harrison, not just in name, but how he was introduced at the beginning of a League arc and would end up being the trainer that Ash loses to. But he does have a frickin' badass Meowth just like Puss in Boots, who was in Trek 2, so that's gotta be worth something. Paul. Here we go, the fan favorite rival, and honestly, I can totally see why. Paul was everything a jerk rival should be. He was cocky and always seemed to be a step ahead of Ash, but knew the limits to his strength and was always trying to improve. Ash and Paul's rivalry didn't just consist of who's the strongest trainer, but whose training style was correct. The two seemed like polar opposites, yet were similar at the same time. Paul was probably the best written rival in the entire series. S tier. Barry. I'll give Pokemon credit, they made Barry a one-to-one copy of his game counterpart. He's a great mixture of friendly, cocky, and also kinda stupid, and I feel like if I put Barry any lower he'd find me, so B tier. Nando. Nando was interesting, as he was a rival to both Ash and Dawn. However, he definitely seemed like more of a coordinator than a battler. But you gotta give Nando credit for chasing after two separate goals. Plus, I've never been, but I hear they have pretty good chicken. Conway. Conway was really creepy and stalker-like, but was also kind of dumb, yet super intelligent at the same time, making him a very enjoyable character. It's a shame we didn't get to see more of Conway, but his battles were always exciting given his unpredictable strategies. Tobias. We all know this story. Tobias brought a Darkrai and Latios to the Sinnoh League, he beat Ash, won the whole thing easily, yada yada yada, the man cheated. Action replay tier. Trip. Hey look, it's sturdy blonde Paul. I mean, this dude acted like Paul, had a very similar haircut, but was also infinitely worse than Paul. While Paul had been on previous journeys before meeting Ash, Trip was a brand new trainer. And yet, he was still somehow always ahead of Ash, because best wishes. Not Paul tier. Bianca. Wouldn't it have been so much better if they replaced this Bianca with the one from the 5th movie? I mean, Bianca's clearly not a good trainer, but I wasn't actively upset whenever she showed up. Stefan. Stefan. He was alright. I mean, his entire existence was based around one joke, but he was definitely Ash's best Unova rival, though that really isn't saying much. Cameron. I just want to punt this man to the other side of Unova. How did he beat Ash with only 5 Pokemon? Oh, I'll tell you how. Best wishes, that's how. F tier. Virgil. Here we have another one of those characters who was introduced right before a leak in order to beat Ash. Except Virgil didn't beat Ash. He had to beat the person who actually did beat Ash. You know, Cameron. But he did beat Cameron, and his team was fully evolutions, so even though we barely saw him, B tier. Tierno. This mad lad could kick any of your butts in DDR. Oh, and he's also a pretty decent trainer. But this dude's got the moves. Also, fun fact, Tierno has the same English voice actor as Natsu from Fairy Tail. Wrap your head around that one. Trevor. Trevor was as boring in the anime as he was in the games. He may be a photographer, but he'll never live up to the legacy of my man Todd Snap. I mean, he has a Mega Charlie, so that's cool, I guess. God, this character was irrelevant. Not Paul tier. Also, we have another Ginger, so sorry Morrison, but you're not special anymore and you're moving to D tier. Sawyer. No one expected such a good rival from this newbie, but it was awesome watching him slowly get up to Ash's level. He even surpassed Ash at one point, prompting Ash to become stronger than ever. Sawyer shows that a rival doesn't have to be a jerk in order to be great. Alon. This man had his own mini-series, that's how cool he was. I loved watching his journey, and how it eventually intertwined with Ash's. It was also really interesting how he had basically been being used as a pawn by Team Flare. Alon wasn't just a great rival, but also a really interesting protagonist. Another A tier. Kiawe. This is a weird case, because Kiawe was both a companion and rival to Ash. The two were basically close friends with a competitive edge. And while Ash was undoubtedly the stronger trainer, Kiawe's training and determination were pretty inspiring. Gladion. I loved how in Sun and Moon, Ash was constantly involved with Lily's family issues, being both her friend and Gladion's rival. This really allowed their rivalry to grow, as Gladion didn't always seem comfortable to have Ash there. They were also basically the two strongest trainers around, which was reflected really well in the Alola League. And there was even a rivalry between both trainers Lycanroc, which was pretty cool to watch. A tier. How? Well, another boring game character has been turned into a boring anime character. Why exactly did they feel the need to introduce him again? D tier. And there you have it, all of Ash's rivals rank. Wait a minute, how could I forget Cross? You know, the guy from I Choose You, who's basically just another worse Paul. So it only makes sense to put him in B tier. Oh hey, another Ginger. So there you have it, my totally unbiased tier list ranking all of Ash's rivals. Let me know if you like this new style of video, and if there's any topics I should make lists of in the future. I mean, I can rank anything. Pokemon, trainers, waifus. Sky's the limit, just as long as you subscribe. Ha ha ha. And as Sakurai would say,
それではお粗末様でした。ご清聴ありがとうございました。それでは。
So in this video I said that someone had to be in a league to qualify, but Cross wasn't in a league, so you may be like, why is he here? Well, you know what? You don't know that, I don't know that. He could have been in a league, he could have been in all the leagues, he could be a doctor, he could be doing everything. God, Cross could rule the world. Huh. Okay, bye.